Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about how does this liquid gold affect your blood sugar and A1C. Again, something else. You guys are going to have to figure out what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give you some background information and then we'll go into it. Again, my name is Mr. A1C. This channel is about reversing your type 2 diabetes, and I've done it, so I wanted to share that information with you. So let's get started. Understanding the relationship between this liquid gold and blood sugar levels is very important, especially for individuals managing conditions like type 2 diabetes, people like us. This liquid gold is a complex beverage containing various compounds, with caffeine being the most recognized. You guys get it, guys? I mean, there's caffeine in a lot of stuff, but maybe you guess what this is. The effect of this liquid gold on blood sugar is not entirely straightforward. Studies have reported varying impacts that depend on individual health conditions and consumption patterns. And you guys are going to see a theme here with this story. There's a lot of words like may and can and other words like that. Very suggestive words, meaning nothing definitive. So consumption of this liquid gold triggers a complex mix of biological responses. So for healthy adults, people without diabetes, it typically doesn't produce noticeable effects on blood sugar levels. However, in individuals with diabetes like us, the reaction can be different. It has been observed to affect insulin sensitivity and may lead to short-term spikes in blood sugar levels following your meals. So have you guys guessed what this is? It's coffee, guys. It's your regular caffeinated coffee that billions of people around the globe love to drink. So what is the chemical profile of coffee? And on this channel, we don't get too in-depth in the weeds there, but we just want to go over some basic information. Coffee contains a plethora of chemical compounds, which include a host of antioxidants and polyphenols. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm not selling anything on this channel. I'm not selling a course on how to reduce your blood sugar levels or anything. I'm not looking to get anything out of this other than educate other people about how I got from point A to point B in terms of reversing my blood sugar and type 2 diabetes. But what I do ask from you guys is to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the information with other diabetics that need to help, and comment below, because as you comment below, that's going to help me understand where your mind is and what you're thinking about, and we can open up a discussion. And also in the community tab, I'm posting stuff there as well for you guys. So that's our community, because that's what I'd like to build, is a community around this whole discussion about type 2 diabetes and how we can address some of the issues associated with type 2 diabetes, and come on at the end with being someone that reversed type 2 diabetes yourselves. Okay, so back to the story. These compounds are known for their potential health benefits, and this is the chemical profile of coffee we're talking about, guys. Antioxidants help protect the body cells from damage by free radicals, while polyphenols and cholinergic acid are vital for the role in reducing inflammation and aiding in the prevention of chronic disease. So we've all heard of polyphenols and antioxidants. So let's just kind of go over this, a little chart here. So the key antioxidants and polyphenols in coffee are cholinergic acid, which is a polyphenol, and the potential benefit would be it's an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So we know as diabetics that anything that's high in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory is going to work for us, will help us with our condition. It also has caffeic acid, which is also a polyphenol and a great antioxidant. It has quinic acid, or Qunic, Q-U-I-N-I-C acid, which is also considered an antioxidant. And lastly, it has ferulic acid, which is a polyphenol, and that is also anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant. So there's a lot of great things, it seems, in coffee that will help us as diabetics. But as we move down a little further here in the discussion, you're going to find out that medical science is giving us mixed messages as usual with everything else, like everything else. So let's kind of dig a little deeper and see. So caffeine, which is a principal agent in coffee, is the most recognized psychoactive substance in coffee and acts as a central nervous system stimulant. We're aware of that already. In short term, caffeine can lead to increased alertness and reduced fatigue. We know that as well. While caffeine impact on blood sugar remains a subject of ongoing research, it is known to interfere with the uptake of glucose into cells and may temporarily raise blood sugar levels following consumption. This can vary depending on the individual's sensitivity to caffeine and their habitual intake. So, what are the effects of coffee on blood sugar and diabetes? The relationship between coffee consumption and its effect on blood sugar levels is a topic of interest, particularly in individuals with diabetes like us. Studies indicate that various components of coffee, primarily the caffeine component, can influence glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity. So, influence on glucose metabolism. Some research, like a 2018 review of clinical trials, suggests that coffee consumption, pay attention to the words they're using, can, may, and suggest. So, suggests that coffee consumption can lead to short-term adverse effects on glucose metabolism. Potentially, there's another word, potentially, causing blood sugar spikes in some individuals. However, the impact also depends on the amount of coffee ingested and the individual's tolerance to caffeine. And I think that would apply to anything that you intake, whether it be coffee or any other component, any other food. So, coffee consumption and the diabetes risk. Longitudinal studies imply that coffee consumption, both caffeinated and decaffeinated, is associated with a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Didn't they just tell us that it spikes your blood sugar? Okay, so for instance, information on the Mayo Clinic's site suggests that drinking coffee can indeed reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. See the trend here, guys? The polyphenols and minerals in coffee may improve glucose tolerance and overall blood sugar control. May. However, these factors do not entirely mitigate the potential acute disturbances in blood sugar due to caffeine, especially in individuals with existing diabetes mellitus. So, alternatives to caffeine, to caffeinated coffee, right? It's the caffeine that they're thinking causing some of the issues. So, what is an alternative? So, for those looking to reduce caffeine intake while still enjoying a warm beverage, there are a lot of options that are available, but today we're going to talk about decaf. And they have less impact on blood sugar levels. From decaf varieties to herbal blends, these alternative products provide a range of flavors and potential health benefits. So, decaf coffee and blood sugar. Decaf coffee is often chosen as a close to substitute for its decaffeinated counterpart. While it contains a little bit of caffeine, some caffeine, the amount is significantly reduced, usually about 2 to 5 milligrams per cup compared to approximately 95 milligrams in a cup of regular coffee, caffeinated coffee. Studies suggest that decaf coffee can offer a similar taste without the same level of stimulation of blood sugar levels. Yeah, they're right. I did that too. I went from caffeinated to decaf as a test. And with all the stuff that I've done, I've tested everything. So that's why I'm able to talk about it. And I'll talk about that at the end. Individuals can enjoy decaffeinated beverages while maintaining their blood sugar as long as they are consumed without high sugar additives. That's, telling you not to, put all that sugar in your coffee, right? Lumps of sugar. So, potential health benefits and risks of coffee. Coffee, a ubiquitous beverage enjoyed globally, holds various potential health benefits and risks. Let's see how coffee consumption interacts with cardiovascular health, inflammation, and other health conditions. Coffee and cardiovascular health. Tongue twister for me. Research suggests a complex relationship between coffee and cardiovascular health. Moderate coffee consumption, typically 3 to 4 cups per day, may be linked with a reduced risk of developing heart disease. However, the high caffeine content in coffee can lead to a temporary rise in blood pressure, a risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So, like all the other videos, they're going back to metabolic syndrome. High blood sugar, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. And this is, the pros and cons of some of the things that we're talking about, the compounds we're talking about, on how they're affecting the different aspects of metabolic syndrome. Individuals with existing heart conditions should be cautious with their coffee intake. Coffee and inflammation. The impact on coffee on inflammation is a subject of ongoing research. Certain compounds in coffee suggest such as antioxidants, may have anti-inflammatory properties. These substances might also reduce chronic inflammation, which is implicated in many diseases, including cancer. Nonetheless, coffee may not have the same effect on everyone, and its influence on inflammation can vary based on the individual's health status and genetic predisposition. So I think we would expect that from any compound that we put into our system, right? So coffee intake and other health conditions. Apart from cardiovascular health and inflammation, coffee intake intersects with various health conditions. We talked about that. It's been documented that coffee might decrease the risk of certain types of cancer, such as liver cancer. Contrastingly, individuals with type 2 diabetes may experience significant blood sugar spikes after coffee consumption, likely due to caffeine's effect on glucose metabolism. Additionally, there are concerns related to unfiltered coffee, as it could potentially elevate cholesterol levels. Pregnant and breastfeeding women are advised to limit their caffeine intake to minimize risks to fetal and newborn health. So, some practical suggestions for coffee drinkers with diabetes, people like us. For individuals managing diabetes, staying informed on how coffee consumption affects blood sugar levels is crucial. Careful monitoring of coffee intake and regular consultations with healthcare professionals can help maintain blood sugar within target ranges. Monitoring and adjusting coffee intake. So like anything that I've done or anything you're going to do, you're going to monitor and adjust based on your cause and effect, right? The results that you're getting. Coffee drinkers with diabetes should monitor the amount of coffee they consume each day. It's helpful to start with a specific measurement of how coffee influences their blood sugar. So start with a cup and see how that works. Start with a half a cup, see how that works, and document it. For some, even a single cup can create a noticeable effect. Keeping track of the number of cups per day and observing any changes in blood sugar levels afterwards provides valuable insight, just like we mentioned. So based on these observations, individuals may need to adjust their coffee intake to stay within their target range, which I agree with. It's like anything that you're taking, right? So the summary and key takeaways here from this discussion is the relationship between coffee consumption and blood sugar levels is complex and can vary among individuals, especially with those with diabetes, people like us. Caffeine, the primary stimulant in coffee, may influence how the body responds to insulin, thereby affecting blood sugar levels. Some studies suggest that caffeine can cause short-term increases in blood sugar levels, making it important for people with diabetes to monitor their responses to coffee. So what are the key points here? Caffeine may affect blood sugar. Caffeine can disrupt glucose metabolism, which may lead to higher blood sugar spikes, especially post-consumption. Individual responses vary, right? The impact of coffee on blood sugar differs from person to person. Regular consumers of coffee may still experience blood sugar elevations. Decaf coffee could be different. Decaffeinated coffee may have a less pronounced effect on your blood sugar or insulin sensitivity and could be an alternative for those concerned about caffeine's impact. Okay, so that's the story there. Let's talk about what I've done with coffee. I read this. I had mixed feelings about it. I used to drink regular coffee, caffeinated coffee for quite a while, and I was able to maintain my blood sugar. And I said, you know what? If I switch to decaf, am I going to be able to drop my blood sugar lower? And when I say drop my blood sugar lower, I'm looking at my fasting blood glucose because my focus was always my A1C. I never cared about my blood sugar after I ate and stuff like that. I mean, I did that at first, but for me, I was looking at the long-term effects of what I was doing in terms of my lifestyle change. And I found that after switching to decaffeinated coffee, it really didn't do anything for my blood sugar. So, I guess it depends. Everyone's different. It depends on whether or not, your genetic makeup. It depends on what mood you're in, because of course your mood controls your blood sugar, guys. Your emotional mood controls your blood sugar. I never knew that. I learned that. And it depends on a lot of other factors, just like anything else you put in your body. Everyone's going to react differently and have different side effects and different benefits and pros and cons, right? So what I did is I went back to drinking my regular caffeinated coffee. I drink one of these a day. So this is my cup of coffee that I drink a day, so you guys know. And this is about 4 cups of coffee. So this kind of is right in line with what the the story was about here. 4 cups pretty much is the max in terms of the pros and cons, in terms of benefits and the negative effects of on your body. So I drink one of these a day. It's camouflage because, you know, I'm a military guy. I'm an army guy. So I like my camouflage. But other than that, I mean, that's all I really have to say about coffee, guys. Like anything else, seek the advice of your healthcare and medical provider if you're unsure about coffee and how it may affect your blood sugar. And make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and participate in our community tab, because we would like to make this a community of like-minded diabetics that are looking for solutions to help solve a major epidemic around the world. Have a great day, guys.